years old, I'm not cooking every single night. But my grandmother found time to work two jobs, and work very, very hard, but still come home and make sure that we had meals. I remember when I was probably about 14, I remember coming into the house and seeing my grandmother's pay stove on the table and just being blown away because my grandmother somehow managed to do all of this and keep a roof over our heads, making $750 every 2 weeks.
Wow.
I have no idea how she did it. In the space that I am in my life now, I look back and I'm just like, I owe her so much because she was able to, make things happen for me at a young age. But there were also things that I had to navigate. Right? You guys still have another year, but a lot of you are probably thinking about what you're going to do as it relates to college. Some of you are probably taking PSATs if those are even still relevant because I'm old. You guys are trying to think through what colleges you might be interested in. I had to do all of that stuff by myself.
Wow.
And it was difficult. It was difficult because I had no idea where to start. Luckily, I had an amazing guidance counselor who just made things easy for me. I mean, I was always a good student. I got in my fair share of trouble. Who wouldn't? When you've gone through some things in life, you see things differently from other people. I was the model student by grades because my grandmother just wasn't playing that. So I graduated high school with a 3.9 out of 4.0. But I definitely got in trouble. I just never got caught. So, don't think that what you see today, the end product, is where it started because it's definitely not. I got in fights in school, probably more fights than I can count. I had moments where I did things that I probably shouldn't have. You guys have talked about drugs, alcohol. I did it all much younger than I should have. But I think what was the driving factor for me to do things differently was just seeing how my grandmother had to live, seeing how my family had to live. So I'm a first generation college graduate. Nobody else in my family has a degree. Um, Everybody is pretty much working a blue collar job, and that's okay because they did the best that they could for where they were at that time. But I just knew in my current circumstance growing up that I wanted something different. I didn't want for anything. If there was something I wanted to be able to just have the money to go get it. So, I worked two jobs in high school and kept my grades up. I don't ever remember my grandmother hindering my growth or my development in any way. I mean, she was strict, but she always encouraged me to think bigger than myself. She always encouraged me to push myself, very focused and very structured. But she made up for in her ability to push me what she couldn't give me when it came to the more social aspects of my life and the things that I kind of needed to figure out how to be a teenager. So I learned a lot of things on my own. But my drive really kind of helped me get to where I needed to be as far as getting out of school. I was very determined. I knew exactly which colleges I wanted to apply to. Um, when I took my SAT, I did not score high the first time. I actually had to take it two more times. Um, but I knew the areas that I struggled with. I worked on those areas. And I just tried to do better and tried to be better. Um, it was never and has never been an easy road, but I think that what's most important in all of that, especially when you might be looking at your own life or looking at the lives of those around you, is what is it that you want? Um, you know, find what it is that you want and find something that's going to motivate you to get there, whether it's getting out of your current circumstance, whether it's being better for whatever you think your future will hold. So, for example, I mentioned that I'm 30. What drives me now is not the same thing that drove me when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I wanted to move beyond my current circumstances. I wanted to do and be better than those that came before me, not only because it was what I wanted for myself, but it was because that was the expectation that was set in my household. But now that I'm a little bit older, I push myself because at some point I want a family. So, I want to do and be better for the next generation. So before I get into, college and how I got where I am now, I just want to give you guys to an opportunity to ask me any questions that you might have about how I navigated certain things when I was in high school, certain challenges or anything like that. Again, this is a dialogue. I don't want to just talk at you.
Let's see. Guys, don't be shy. Who can I pick on? Enable grid view.
Okay, it's cool if there are no questions right now. After this is over, if Mr. Cox is okay with it, I'll give you guys my contact information. You
Oh,
can
for
always
sure.
reach out to me if you have questions.
For sure, yeah.
But so navigating to college. So I applied to 7 schools. One of the schools that I really, really wanted to go to was Georgetown, and I didn't get in.
Wow.
And that was really hard. But I have a funny story for you guys about that that'll make you laugh. So I didn't get into Georgetown. It was really hard for me, and I had to look at myself